Hi, this is Jen, and thanks for joining me. I am doing a 29-day challenge in the month of February to clean up my craft room and organize and destash. You can follow me on Instagram, where I post most of the pictures that I do daily to Jen Lee Schoolcraft, and I am using the hashtag Crafty ORG Challenge. I have a metal cabinet in my room that I don't even know how many drawers, maybe 8 or 9 drawers. It's a metal cabinet that I purchased for $30 from a warehouse here locally that sells old, it's from the university, so they are old, probably 70s cabinets and things like that. So I picked this up for $30. It is metal. And I was planning on redoing it, but I haven't done that, and I've had it for a couple of years. So for now, this is how it is. So most of the stuff in this cabinet I've already gone through somewhat recently, and so I am not getting rid of too much. But this is how I store my embossing powders. I just have this packaging in this little box, and I have placed it in the drawer. And most of them I store upside down so I can see what colors they are. And then on the other side of that drawer, I have my adhesives that I don't have at my desk. So these are pretty much overflow adhesives or extras. And the next 3 drawers are my inks. I have my VersaFine Clair, my Wendy Vecchi Make Art, and my Craft inks. And so when I store them, I have them in rainbow order, but they're just kind of tilted so that when I need to reach for something, I could pull it out very easily. I haven't had any problems with ink quality or the ink not working well storing them like this. And I've had them like this probably for about a year at least. And I really like this because I can just pull the drawer out and see what I have. So if you have the IKEA unit, this would work well in something like that. I think ink pad organization is one of the hardest things to try to get organized and not take up a whole lot of space. So these are the Catherine Pooler inks. If you watched my video, I believe it was last week or maybe it was this week, with my blue cabinet, I do have my little mini distress inks in there. And then this is the drawer that I have my oxides, and they're stored the same. They're tilted up so that I could see the color, and it's very easy to just come and pull out what I need. And so I love having them in the drawers. So the rest of the drawers I just wanted to show because I love these little dividers, and they're super affordable at Harbor Freight. So another Harbor Freight item. So they have them that look like this, and then they have this style right here. I believe it's a different one. Some of them come in 3 packs, and then I believe some of them you can buy singly. But they're really super helpful for organizing all those little embellishments and things like that. So this drawer is just a lot of tags, some little cards, and as you can see, they're just stored in lid box tops. So nothing fancy. I didn't purchase anything to store these in. Like this one right here is a cracker box, and the one of them is a photo box top, and then I mean they're just cardboard boxes from packaging, and I believe one of them is a cigar box. So they all fit really nicely in the drawer to kind of keep those tags from going all over the place. And then here are more Harbor Freight containers. So I did destash some items from this drawer. I have those round little Stampin' Up containers that have buttons and embellishments in them, and then a bunch of metal hardware pieces. And this is more just miscellaneous stuff that I have a very hard time getting rid of. And then this drawer on the bottom is all of my like little wood pieces. And so this is kind of similar, I guess, to that IKEA cabinet with the pull-out drawers. But if you don't have something like that, I have even used the plastic set of drawers, which a lot of times you can find on Facebook garage sale sites. But I wanted to go ahead and show my swatch book since I showed you how I stored my inks. I wanted to show you how I swatched my inks. And I kind of went through my swatch book a few months ago, showing how I swatch out my colors. So I'll go ahead and link that below if you're interested. So basically, most of them are on cards that I could pull out, which is really convenient because I could pull it out and hold it up to something and see, you know, if the color goes with whatever I'm working with. When I first started, I did glue them in, so some of them are glued in like my just regular distress inks, but most of the things that I've gotten probably within the past year are on cards that I can remove. At least my inks are. So I just have every type that I have. I have one pigment, I believe I only have one pigment ink, which is the VersaFine Clair, and then I have the rest of them are dye inks. And I do a swatch of a solid stamp and then a detail stamp just so I can see how the ink stamps up both a detailed stamp or something like a sentiment, and then how it stamps up a solid image. And then for my embossing powders, I have most of my embossing powders swatched, but I do not have all of them, especially some of the older ones. I don't have them swatched, but I do have some of them that have a swatch on top of the container. And I swatch on both a white cardstock and then a black cardstock. Just because some of the embossing powders have a different look on the darker cardstock than they do on lighter. So the only ones that I do like a detail stamp are like the finer embossing powders. The ones that are chunky, which are the New Lindy's that I just purchased not too long ago, and some of the Ranger embossing powders are really chunky and they aren't really meant for kind of more of a detail embossed image. So those are the ones where I just have a solid swatch. And that's pretty much it. This book holds everything. I look at it every time I make something. And up next is the giveaway items from today, as well as some information about the giveaway for week 2, since it is ending today. Here are some of the items I got mainly from the tag drawer. So this is Tim Holtz. They're like little playing cards with the alphabet on them. And then most of the other stuff is just miscellaneous. There's some metal stickers and some little like journaling cards, and then some library card pocket things that have different sayings on the front of them. And then I have this EK Success. It's like a little passport book. I guess it has several pages that you can decorate. And then an old Pink Fresh Studio, some wood embellishments. And then the rest are just some tags. And then I will also show the stash or the Destash for week 2. So like I mentioned, today is the last day of the week 2 organization challenge. So today is day 14. Tomorrow, the 15th, will start week 3. So all of the items that you have seen this week, days 8 through 14, I believe it is, are included in the week 2 Destash. And as the winner, you will receive all of those items. These little round containers hold stamping up items. So the first one was I think there were some resin flowers, and these are some little wood embellishments in hearts. And then some buttons. And more buttons. So I don't know why I have like 3 of these yellow buttons. So they're like corduroy buttons, fabric corduroy buttons, and then some brown ones. So that is what I pulled out today. And then here are a few of the items from the entire week. I'm not going to go through every single item because I already did that in the individual videos, but basically this week was paper, florals, dyes, and a few little miscellaneous items that will be in the week 2 Destash. You have until this Sunday, which is the 16th of February, to enter the week 2 Destash. And I've had a few questions in the comments about the Google form and how often you need to fill out the Google form. If you could fill it out at least once a week, that would be super helpful for me and for you, because I only when I pull that form data, I'm pulling it into a spreadsheet, and I'm only looking at the the week in question, as far as, putting that information in for a winner. So I'm not looking at the whole month. So although you might have used the form for week 1, I'm not going to be looking at that at all. I'm just taking all the data from, for example, for week 2, I'm only taking the data or the forms that were submitted for days 8 through 14, or 16th actually, to put those into the random draw. So if you could at least fill that Google form out once per week, that would help me out a lot. And that would ensure that your entries are accounted for and that your names are put into the drawing. So the drawing is the same. It's follow this channel, leave a comment below. Follow me on Instagram at Jen Lee Schoolcraft. And all the details of the giveaway, as far as the rules and the deadlines for the giveaways, can be found in that Google Doc, and that is your entry into the drawing as well. I think that is it for me. I took a little longer this week than I had planned, especially with the dies, and I had other stuff going on outside of my craft room. So I'm a little bit behind, but I think I will be able to still stay on track and get everything done that I need to get done. I know for next week I have stamps planned, which is probably going to take me at least 2 days, so I might not have a video every day next week, but I will try and post on Instagram. I just don't like to be repetitive in my posts on Instagram, and so we'll see how it goes, but I do have that plan for next week, as well as some other items. And that is it for me. I hope you're enjoying this series. I'm really having fun with it, and I'm super happy to get stuff cleaned up and organized. And I've been reading your comments. I haven't had a lot of time to respond to a lot of them, but I try to respond as many as I can. And if I don't respond with a reply, I at least try and give it a like or a heart. So please know that I love your comments. They've been really helpful. There's a lot of ideas, great ideas out there, and so I really do appreciate that. And also, don't forget to enter the giveaway if you haven't already by this Sunday, February 16th, in order to have your name entered into this Destash for week number 2. And then week number 3 starts tomorrow. So I will catch you then.